तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं यं गुरुं हि स्वयं सत्यः प्रज्ञा भक्तिविनीतयः कीर्तिश्चापि वृता नित्यं तं गुरुं प्रणमाम्यहं सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Start with 48. नानाशब्दसमागमादितुमुलध्वानश्च कर्मानिलैः नुन्नश्चञ्चल एष संसृतिमही जोऽन्ते ह्यभावात्मकः सम्यग्ज्ञानमयासिना सुकरणीयोच्छेद एतस्य तत् मूलं ब्रह्म सदेव शुक्रममृतम् मिथ्यैषमर्त्यः पुनः। कार्यं कारण एव तिष्ठति च तन्नात्येति मृत्कुम्भवत् तस्मात् ब्रह्मणि कारणेऽस्ति सकलं नात्येति तत्किञ्चन। लोकोऽयं ननुकम्पते सति बृहत् यस्मिन्नतो निर्गतः भीतोऽस्मात् परमुद्यतादिव पवेः परमुद्यतादिव पवेः एतद्विदन्तो मृताः। भीतोऽग्निर्दहति प्रभोस्तपतिकः तापं निहन्त्यं भुजः जिष्णुर्वर्षति कम्पते पिबवनः शम्पाक्षणं द्योतते सर्वं भूस्सहते पयोनिधिरहो नागच्छति स्वावधेः लोकान् पान्ति च लोकपालु बहुना मृत्युः परं धावति। एतत्साध्वसकारणं कलयितुं प्राग्देहपाताद्बुधः चेच्छक्नोति विमुच्यते न यदिहा सर्गेष्वधीर्जायते। आदर्शे मुखमीक्षते हि पुरुषः स्पष्टं नतो ये पुनः तद्वन्मानवजन्मनि स्फुटतरं नान्यत्र सद्दर्शनम्। जाग्रत्यात्मनि निर्मले परपदं स्पष्टं यथा भासते तद्वन्मानवजन्मनि स्फुटतरः ब्रह्मात्मबोधो नृणाम्। स्वप्ने स्पष्टमिदं विभाति तु यथा तद्वत्पितॄणां पदे गान्धर्वेऽपि च दैवते स्फुटतमं सत्ये तु तद्दुर्लभम्। In the previous class, we completed our discussion on the meaning of 52. So we just quickly recall what was stated in 51 and 52. In verses 51 and 52, so primarily the author was trying to communicate that having this Atmajnana is very easy in this Manava Janma. Manava Janma is something which is extremely conducive to gain this Atmajnana compared to the Janma that this Jiva can take in other lokas. So that is why he was saying Devaloka, Gandharvaloka, etc. See, in the last verse, Pitrunam Pade Gandharve Picha Daivate. So, Swapne Aspashtamidam Vibhati. So, he was trying to explain the simile. As you can perceive something in Jagrata Avastha with the sense organs connecting with the objects easily, so too gaining Atmajnana will be quite easy in Manushya Janma. So, this is the import of what he was trying to convey in the last two verses. Finally, he said, so there are various other lokas, one of them is Satyaloka, and in this Satyaloka, it may be possible, in this Satyaloka, it may be possible that you will be able to gain this Atmajnana in a much more easier way, but obtaining the Satyaloka. Satyaloka is same as Brahmaloka. So it is the highest loka. So in the hierarchy that is being listed. So this is Satyaloka. So he says, Spphutatamam. So it is much more easier. Parantu Taddurlabham. Taddurlabham means gaining space in this Satyaloka. So laying your foot there in Satyaloka is going to be exceedingly difficult. Why was it difficult? We also saw that. So it requires Vidya and various other things. So this is what was discussed in the previous verses. The next verse which we are going to read, 53. So this 53 happens to be the import of only one mantra, which is the sixth mantra in the sixth valli of the Kathopanishad. Okay? So first I will read the verse, then I will take you to the mantra, then we will come back to this. Okay? So you repeat the verse now. Tvakchakshushrutirasanam nipunathihi. Tvakchakshushrutirasanam nipunathihi. Tvakchakshushrutirasanam nipunathihi. Ghranancha drishtvodhitam. Ghranancha drishtvodhitam. Ghranancha drishtvodhitam. Vaivarchirviyadam bubhumya itarat.
Vaivarchirviyadam bubhumya itarat.
Vaivarchirviyadam bubhumya itarat.
Vaivarchirviyadam bubhumya itarat. Vaivarchirviyadam bubhumya itarat.
Satchit sukhadatmanaha.
Satchit sukhadatmanaha. Satchit sukhadatmanaha.
Yesham jagrati sambhavancha vilayam.
Yesham jagrati sambhavancha vilayam. Yesham jagrati sambhavancha vilayam.
Svape tatha sakshinam.
Svape tatha sakshinam. Svape tatha sakshinam.
Svatmanam paramavyayam dhruvamajam.
Svatmanam paramavyayam dhruvamajam. Svatmanam paramavyayam dhruvamajam.
Brahmatha no shochati.
Brahmatha no shochati. Brahmatha no shochati.
This is one of the important verses where you also find the Phalashruti declared. So Ramarāya, as you know, closely follows what the mantra says. I will take you to the mantra where also you will just find out the last quarter stating the Phalashruti. So what is the mantra? Sixth mantra of the Indriyanam prathak bhavam udayastamayau chayat. Prathagutpadyamananam matvadhiro na shochati. Matvadhiro na shochati is the phalashruti. Matva means nyatva. Matva should be understood as nyatva. Nyatva na shochati means having understood, this person will never get into despondent mode. So he will never be entering into the mode of sorrow. Matva dhiraha na shochati. In fact, if you just carefully reflect, most of the things that people get knocked off, so and move from their state of happiness into other states which are undesirable, is only because of this shochati. Okay? So you keep on bothering about something, this anxiety and so on. That is why ashocyan anvashochastvam. Okay? So matva dhiro na shochati. Tarati shokam atmavit. Okay? So that is elsewhere in the Upanishad we find this. So shokamohabhyam taranam. This is the phala of Vedanta Adhyaya. Shokamohabhyam taranam. Crossing this shokamohas. So this is the phala that is stated. Matva dhiro na shochati. Now the question is, kim matva? What is the question? Kim nyatva na shochati. If you look at the connection between the previous verses and this verse, in the previous verse it was stated that gaining Atmajnana is something which is very easy in this Manushya Janma. This is what was declared. Now, how do you gain this jnana is what is stated. The mode that has to be adopted, the line of thinking that has to be adopted. So you have to just set your line of thinking. That is what is important. So once that line of thinking is set, you will move along those directions and finally you will be able to achieve what you want to achieve. Okay? So the direction has to be changed. How you perceive things is what makes a lot of difference. Now this has been stated in this verse. Indriyebhya mantra. Indriyanam prathak bhavam. Prathak bhavam means prathak bhavam. That it is different from this. Indriyanam prathak bhavam means that this Atman is different from the Indriyas. Prathak avasthanam. Indriyanam prathak bhavam. There are two things that have to be understood by us. So both are stated in this mantra. One is prathak bhava. The other is udayastamayau. There are two things he is saying. Indriyanam prathak bhavam. Udayastamayau cha. Udayastamayau normally means Udaya is rising, Astamaya is setting. So Utpatti Vinasho. Kesham Indriyanam. Indriyanam prathak bhavam. Udayastamayau cha yad. Then we have in the second half of the mantra a phrase Prathagutpadyamananam. As you can see, it is a Shashti. So we have Indriyanam, Shashti. So Indriyanam is qualified by this phrase Prathagutpadyamananam. Prathagutpadyamananam means these Indriyas, so this will be explained Rāmarāya in greater detail. Okay? But the mantra is just mentioning that they are arising out of something separately. So there are 5 Indriyas and there are 5 bhutas. So you will be connecting them. So Prathagutpadyamananam. So the origin of this Indriya from each kind of a bhuta will be mentioned in this verse by Rāmarāya. You will find, see the phrases, see, Vai, Varchil, Ambu, Bhubhyaha, etc. See, so there are a few things which are listed. We will come to that now. in a moment. So, prithak utpadyamanam indriyanam prithak bhavam udayastamayau cha matva dhiraha nashochati. Okay. What happens is, let me just tell you, this is so beautifully conveyed even by Acharya in the Adhyasa Bhashya. The Adhyasa Bhashya, if you see, so he will just say, Adhyaso nama atasmimstad buddhihi ityavochama. Then what does he say? Bahya dharman atmani adhyasyati. He says, right? Tatha deha dharman. Then he moves on to Indriya dharman. So deha dharman, what does he say? Stoloham kushoham gauroham tishtami gacchami langhayami cha iti. Right? Stoloham, some people have this, if I am too fat, this is a complex. I am too slim, this is another complex. Stoloham kushoham gauroham is another thing. Gauroham means I am fair. So those who are fair, they want to become dark. Those who are dark, they want to become fair. So these are all problems. Okay. Stoloham krishoham. Because I saw, say, some people, they call it tanning. So they go and they sit in this. So my friend who goes for bird watching to high latitudes, high altitudes rather. Okay. So because of the sunburn, so when he comes back after a week, his face will be black, hand will be black, etc. So sunburn. So people want to do this. So these are all basically deha dharman atmani adhyasyati. Okay. Deha dharman. So deha dharma, say similarly tishtami, gacchami, langhayami. So these are all deha dharman adhyasyati. Now comes the indriya dharman. He just lists a few things. What does he list? Mukoham, Mukaha Kanaha, see, Klibaha, Badhiraha, Andhohamiti. Mukah Kanaha, Klibo Badhiraha, Andhohamiti. This is what the Bhashya Vakya is. Mukaha. We see some people, I have seen. So they will be able to converse well. Suddenly something will happen and then this will not come. Okay, so something will go wrong. So this Mukaha. So similarly Kanaha, Badhiraha. Badhiraha many people become, right? So with the age. In fact, my father has gone for a sabha now. He is a fantastic scholar, amazing scholar. Should be close to 85, 90, something around that range. My father was just mentioning today morning that the Shastri has come, but he is unable to listen to anything. He is just sitting there. Okay. So Badhiraha. So now the problem is, he has become Badhira, he was not Badhira. So whether he is Badhira or not Badhira, what will you say? He is the same person. Understand? At a given point of time, if this functions, you call him Abadhira. If this fails to function, you call him Badhira. So it has to do only with the Indriya. Indriyanam prathak bhavam. Now, Badhiraha refers to that Purusha. You have to understand. So the malfunctioning of the organ is superimposed upon that Vyakti. So, Indriyanam prathak bhavam. Now, what you have to understand is, if you say you are a fat fellow, you should just think, he is referring to my sharira, I am what I am. Okay? If people say you are too slim, it refers to my sharira, I am different. So, this is how one has to start thinking. The line of thinking. If you just superimpose any of them upon you, that is all, you are finished. Okay. Indriyanam prathak bhavam. This is what he is trying to convey. The second aspect that we need to understand is Udayastamayau Chayat. Udayastamayau means, so it arises and then it sets. What does he mean by that? Udayastamayau, how can it happen? Indriya is always with me, you can say. Maybe the Indriya is with you all the time, but then the functioning of the Indriya is recognized by you and the Indriya is set into action by you. When does this happen? This happens only when you wake up. Even in the Swapnavastha, all these Indriyas are gone. None of them are functioning. But you have certain images in your own mind. So it is only in the Jagratavastha that the Indriya is coming to play. So in the other two avasthas, they are shut off. Okay. So they are shut off in the other two avasthas. So this is what he means by saying Indriyanam prathak bhavam udayastamayau cha. So the idea here is, in order to help you to eliminate the adhyasa with the indriyas, you have to start thinking along these lines. These are things which will help you to appreciate that these are not you, rather, I would put it this way. So it is this adhyasa that makes you feel. Okay? So indriyanam prathak bhavam udayastamayau chai. Whereas this atma is continuous. Indriyanam prathak bhavam udayastamayau chayat prathagutpadyamananam atva dhiro na shochati. If you are able to eliminate this adhyasa with the indriyas, then na shochati. This is just an upalakshana, okay, of other adhyasas as well. Okay. Now let us quickly go through the bhashya and then I will get back to this verse. In the bhashya, if you look at the question that Acharya asks is Kathamasau bodhavyaha. Asau here refers to this Atma. How is this Atma to be understood? Bodhavyaha means to be understood. How is this Atma to be understood? Kimva tadavabodhe prayojanamiti. What is gained by gaining this Atma jnana? What is gained by gaining this? Tadavabodhe prayojanamiti uchyate. He says, Indriyanam shrotradinam स्वस्वविषयग्रहण प्रयोजनेन स्वकारणेभ्यः आकाशादिभ्यः पृथगुत्पद्यमानानाम् अत्यन्तविशुद्धात् केवलात् चिन्मात्रस्वरूपात्. See, indriyanam पृथगुत्पद्यमानानाम्. Okay. So there he uses this phrase Akashadibhyaha. Understand? Akashadibhyaha utpadyamananam. Which indriya arises from which bhuta, that has been clarified by Rāmarāya. When we come to this verse, that will be understood. In the mantra, bhashya, he simply says Swasvaga Vishaya Grahana Prayojanena Svakaranebhyaha is another qualifier. So Indriyanam Karanantu Akashadayaha. Okay, so Karana is that from the Karana, these Indriyas which are arising, Prithagutpatyamanana. From each of these bhutas, one of the Indriyas arises. Svakaranebhyaha Akashadibhyaha Prithagutpadyamananam Indriyanam Atyanta Vishuddhat. So this Atman is untouched by any of the qualities of these Indriya. Atyanta Vishuddhat Kevalat Chinmatra Swarupat. The nature of Atman is Kevala Chinmatra Swarupa. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. So that is what we have to understand as the nature of Atman. Now he says prithag bhavam. Understand? Indriyanam prithag bhavam. Prithag bhavam, what does one understand by that? Swabhava vilakshanatmakatam. See, swabhava vilakshanyam. What is the swabhava vilakshanyam between Atman and the Indriyas? Indriyas are many, Atman is one. Indriya is Anitya, Atman is Nitya. Indriya has Udayastamaya, Atman does not have Udayastamaya. So this is what one has to understand. So that is what he is trying to convey. Swabhava vilakshanatmakatam. So sometimes some Indriya will be active, but Atman has to be active. Understand? So Atman has to be active. Whether you are listening, whether you are hearing, see? So whether you are seeing, whether you are observing, see? So they are all different ways of functioning of the same Indriyas. Okay? Hearing is sam shabdaha ayati gacchati. Evam bhavati. Tatha tesham eva indriyanam udayastamaya cha utpatti pralayau. Udayastamaya means utpatti pralayau. When he says Jagrat Swapnavastha Pratipatya, understand? So in the Jagrat Avastha etesham utpattihi udayaha, Swapnavasthayam tesham vilayaha. Na atmanaha iti matva. Understand? So Atman does not have any of these qualities. Iti matva jnatva. Katham jnatva? Vivekataha. It is the line of thinking and the discrimination that we are able to develop. See? Vivekataha dhiraha dhiman nashochati. Nashochati means he does not worry about how they are looking, how they are functioning. Okay? Dhiraha nashochati. Finally he says Atmanaha Nityaika svabhavatva avyabhicharat. See, Nityatvam Eka svabhavatva. Understand? Atmanaha Nityatvam Eka svabhavatva. So whether the Indriya is functioning or not functioning, even for a person for whom it has been functioning in the Jagrata Avastha itself. Okay? So this may be functioning, this may not be functioning. Depending upon that, you may be describing the person by different words. But Atma is one and the same. For him, aham, aham, aham. It does not change. Okay? So that is the point. See, svabhavatva avyabhicharat nityatvam atmanaha ekasvabhavatvam. Okay? Avyabhicharat shokakaranatva anupapatte. The shokakarana is essentially, if you just reflect for a moment, shokakarana is essentially the change. See, anityatvam, so parinamitvacha, shokakarana. So suppose you see, so your skin was glowing in 20s. Suppose you become 70s. Okay, it will start shrinking. In 80s, almost nothing. So if you keep worrying, there's a change. For some people, it makes them worry. For some people, they don't. What makes the difference? This Atma Jnana. So if you superimpose, you will be worrying. If you don't superimpose, you will not worry. Suppose somebody calls you a fool. Okay. So you may get angry, but you need not get angry. If you think, you need not get angry. It is his perception of me, why should I worry? So this is what is adhyasa. That is what he is trying to tell you. Tatha ca shrutyantaram. See, that is why Acharya he uses this phrase very. So each phrase is very important. He says Nityaika svabhavatva avyabhicharat. He says Shokakaranatva anupapatte. Anupapatte means if you reflect upon it, there is no reason for you to really get into shoka mode. That is why Krishna said, Ashocha nanvashochas. Shoka karanatva anubhavati. Okay. Now let us come to Rāmarāyaka's verse. Rāmarāya, here there are a couple of compounds, long compounds. So we have to just understand them. So it starts with a compound. I think there is a error. So those who have the copy of the book, so this tvak should not be separated. It should be just one word. Okay, it is a compound word. Tvak chakshushrutirasanam. So there may be a temptation to separate this as Shrutihi Asanam. Then there will be a problem. Okay? It is not Shrutihi Asanam. Tvak chakshushrutirasanam. Okay. So tvak we all know. Okay. So touch sense. Chakshuhu is the sense of seeing, eyes. Shruti is Shrotra. Rasanam. Rasanam is sometimes you use. Rasanam is. What is Rasanam? Jihva. Okay. So sometimes you use this Dirgha. Okay. So Anpratyaya Swarthe. Sometimes you use Shruti Rasanam. Rasanam, in fact, Rasana is the word. It's a beautiful shloka. Just tell. Sarasana tenayane taveva karau sayeva kritakrityaha yaye yaulo bhargam vadati kshete sadarchata smarati. The word rasana, we don't need to worry now. We will not get into that. Okay? So rasana is basically this. So this rasanam, then Nipunadhihi, Ghranancha. Now 5 things are listed. Okay. Tvakchakshushrutirasanam Ghranancha. Okay. Tvakchakshushrutirasanam Nipunadhihi, Ghranancha. Drishtva Uditam. Uditam means they came up from. Okay. So it is an offshoot. Offshoot of what? So here is the list. And then second quarter of the verse, he says, Vai varchal viyadambu bhyaha. Vayu archi viyat ambu bhu. Understand? So 5 things have been compounded. Vayu. Then archihi. Archihi. So Viyat, you know, is Akasha. Then Ambu is water. Bhu is Prithvi. So what should be Archi? Agni. What does Archi literally mean? Archi. You heard this? Archi. Archihi means Kirana. Okay. Archihi literally means Kirana. Archihi can also mean Dipti. So since Agni possesses both, it is referred to by the word Archihi here. Okay, that's what fits in. Therefore, he uses the word Archihi. In fact, there is a beautiful verse which is worth learning, where you find the word Archihi. So Kalidasa's amazing use of a simile where he uses the word Archi. I will tell you the verse. It is from Raghuvamsha, the 12th canto. I will just tell you the verse, you repeat. Nivishta Vishayasneha Nirvishta Vishayasneha
Nirvishta Vishayasneha Nirvishta Vishayasneha
Sadashantamupeivan
Sadashantamupeivan Sadashantamupeivan
Asidasana Nirvanaha
Asidasanna
Nirvanaha
Asidasanna Nirvanaha Asidasanna Nirvanaha
Pradhihi Parchiryoshasi Pradiparchirivoshasi.
Pradiparchirivoshasi.
Pradiparchirivoshasi. Pradiparchirivoshasi. Nirvishta Vishaya Snehaha Sadashantamuktāvalī. This is a description of Dasharatha he gives. And the simile has this word archihi. So I am trying to bring the distinction between the usage of archihi there and archihi here. That is why I wanted to tell you. Pradiparchirivoshasi is a simile. Pradipasya archihi means deeptihi. Okay. Pradipa is lamp. Pradipasya archihi ushasi iva. Okay. Pradiparchirivoshasi. This is the fourth quarter. Nirvishta Vishaya Snehaha. Dasharatha is being described, he is quite aged. Okay. So the state of Dasharatha is being beautifully brought out by Kalidasa through this simile. So Nirvishta Vishaya Snehaha Saha Dasharatha Dashantamuktāvalī. Dashantamuktāvalī means he attained this stage, Anta. So there are various dashas, right? So we say Jagrata Dasha, this, that, Dasha. This is in a daily basis. Now this avastha can also be described by the word dasha. Okay? So he just comes, he is close to, okay, the last Dashantamuktāvalī. There are various dashas. Or one can even think of Kalidasa hinting to various dashas. In a life, if you take up astrology, they will say this dasha, that dasha, that dasha, and then finally. So Dashantamuktāvalī means all the dashas are getting over. So then the third quarter he says Asit Asanna Nirvanaha. Asanna Nirvanaha Asit means, so Nirvana is, so leaving this here. So of course in Buddhism etc. they use Nirvana. So essentially dropping something and moving to a different state. Okay? So Asanna Nirvanaha means he was close to. Okay? So leaving this janma. So Asit at the fag end of his life. So this is what is described by Asanna means very close. Asit Asanna Nirvanaha. Now this state is described through this beautiful simile. How is this like? So he was just like a lamp, illuminating and then doing, serving the purpose. But the moment the sun rises, what happens to this? Pradiparchihi is just gone. Right? Pradiparchirivoshasi. So that is how the archihi is used. There archihi means deepti. So here archihi means deeptiman. Okay? So that is how we have to understand the phrase archihi. Vaivarchihi Vedāntamuktāvalī. Now there is a sequence. The sequence of 5 things and the sequence of 5 more things. Bhubhyaha. So this we can see in the commentary. Itarat Satchit Sukhadatmanaha. Satchit Sukhadatmanaha Itarat. Understand? So these things. So what are the things? Tvakchakshushrutirasanam ghranam indriyanam prithak bhavam. So Satchit Sukhadatmanaha Itarat. They are different from that. Yesham Jagrati Sambhavancha Vilayam Svape. Now it is straightforward, right? So this Indriyanam Jagrati means in the Jagrat Dasha. The Jagrat Dasha, Jagrati Sambhavam. Sambhava is coming into existence. Vilayam Svape. We don't know what happens to them. Svape Tatha Sakshinam Svatmanam Paramavyayam Dhruvam Ajam. So he says, So Sakshinam, the one who witnesses all these things, even for the same person. Okay. So who was able to hear and later who is not able to hear? Who was able to walk, who was able to run, and who is not able to do at a later stage? So he will be able to see this, right? So the change. So that the one who witnesses this change that is happening is what is Sakshi. Okay? So Sakshi by definition, so he is an observer, he is not into the process. He is making this observation. Sakshinam svatmanam param avyayam dhruvam ajam brahma. So one has to understand. So this person, so this aham pratyaya vishaya, the one who is so tam atmanam dhruvam ajam yatva brahma iti yatva atha means after that. See, atha na shochati. Atha means after. Okay, after this prithak bhavam udayastamayaucha. So vicharya, that I am different if he is able to, then nasochati, which essentially means he has dropped this adhyasa. Once you are relieved from adhyasa, then there is no question of shokamoha. Now let us read the commentary. Katham manava janmani tattvam bodhum shakyate tadaha tvagiti. Katham manava janmani, how is it? So you were earlier declaring that this Manushya Janma will be very conducive. In Manushya Janma, how does one do? Tell me. So there he says, Tadaha Tvagiti Vai Varchir Viyadam Bubhubhyaha. He is bringing that phrase first. So from them, these are arising. Vai Varchir Viyadam Bubhubhyaha Uditam Tuvakchakshushrutirasanam. See, Rasanameva rasa. He is clarifying. So the phrase is generally Rasana. Jihva. Rasanameva rasanam. Tvagadinam samaharadvandvat ekatvam. So one can ask this question. There are many Indriyas which have been listed by you. Where is the Bhuvachana? So if you do samaharadvandva, then it is ekatva. So he is just clarifying. Tvagadinam samaharadvandvat ekatvam. Then Granancha. Granancha drishtva. Drishtva means uditam drishtva. Uditam means they came up from. See, there are two things. What we have to understand is these indriyas coming up from these bhutas is one kind of utpatti. On a daily basis, so they coming into play and then they sitting is another kind of utpatti laya. Okay. So first he says vayoho tvak archishaha chakshuhu viyataha shrutihi ambuno rasanam bhuvo ghranam iti kramaha. Bhuvo ghranam iti kramaha. So in fact, if you look at the Tarka Sangraha, etc., they will essentially associate one Indriya with one Bhuta. You will essentially see the same thing. Okay? Prithvi is associated with Gandha and then Granam. So this is how they are. Then, Sachit Sukhadatmanaha Uditam. Okay? So where do these Bhutas come from? The Indriyas come from bhutas, but these bhutas themselves come from Atma. Atmana akasha sambhutaha. That is how we have to understand. Uditam itarat. Itarat means all other things but for this Chaitanya. Itarat anrita jada dukkhatmakam jagat drishtva. Anrita means they are unreal. Unreal means impermanent. So jada, so the nature is different. One is Chaitanya Svabhava, the other is Jada Svabhava. So that's what he is trying to say. One is Sukha Rupa, the other is Dukkha Rupa. So that's why he is bringing anrita jada dukkhatmakam jagat drishtva yesham indriyadinam. Moreover, okay, these indriyas jagrati sambhavam swapne vilayancha drishtva. So you observe this. These indriyas come into play only for a short while. Drishtva tatha sakshinam indriyadi vilayodaya sakshinam. Understand? Sakshi is one who witnesses. So he witnesses the change that is happening. Okay? So indriyadi vilayodaya sakshinam param tebhyo vilakshanam. Here param should be understood as para can mean various things. Para can sometimes mean Shatru. Okay? Para can mean the other person. Okay? So para can mean Utkrishta and so on. Okay? So here it is used in the sense of Vilakshanam, different from that. Okay? So param tebhyo vilakshanam. Okay? Then avyayam dhruvam. Okay? Then ajam brahma brahmabhinnam svatmanancha drishtva. So that Brahman, which is described as aja, nitya and so on. So atmanam tadabhinnam drishtva. Understand? So that this self, which is continuous, so this is not different from that. Okay, the self is not different from Brahman. This is Jnatva. In fact, there is a beautiful description that we find even in Bhamati. See, in Bhamati, right at the beginning, so there is a very interesting phrase that may be worth recalling. He says, Tasmad yeshu vyavartamaneshu yad anuvartate tattebhyo bhinnam yatha kusumebhyas sutram. Yeshu vyavartamaneshu yad anuvartate tattebhyo bhinnam. So yeshu vyavartamaneshu, with respect to Sharira, he is talking. Even me. So when I stepped into IIT, I would have been in the range of 65 to 70 kg. Now I am in the range of 85 to 90 kg. So this Sharira Staulyam, so over the past 20 years, so this has added up. So Yeshu Vyavartamaneshu means, so this Sharira is Vyavartate. Okay. When I came here, the hair would have been black. So now it is almost white. So Yeshu Vyavartamaneshu yad anuvartate. So but I have the feeling that I am the same entity. Right? Vyavartamaneshu, all things are changing. Yad anuvartate tattebhyo bhinnam yatha kusumebhyas sutram. So he gives the example of a garland. See, in Tamil we say some kadamba mat. Kadamba means you have various kinds of flowers. So various sizes, various shapes, various fragrances. You put all of them and then tie with one rope, right? One thread. Now the flowers are changing, but the rope is one. Yatha kusumebhyaha sutram. That is how vyavartamaneshu. So too the ability of the indriya. So indriya need not necessarily mean the sense organ. The ability of buddhi also. At one stage you are able to comprehend something. At a different stage you are able to comprehend something else. You are able to comprehend in one particular way. With exposure to Vedanta, you will comprehend the same thing in a different way. Initially, I have seen people who used to get disturbed for nothing. So nothing may be there, he will just get angry. Okay? But then with the exposure to Vedanta and he tries to digest things, he is able to appreciate things in a much better way without getting disturbed. Right? So this is what? So this person, the core person, who is able to witness the change, yeshu vyavartamaneshu yad anuvartate tattebhyo bhinnam Yatha kusumebhyas sutram. See, baladishu sharireshu yavartamaneshu api. Ahankaraspadam anuvartamanam tebhyo bhidyate. See, ahankaraspadam means the one who is the locus of this aham pratyaya. Okay. Ahankarasya aspadaha means the seat. So whom do you describe as aham aham aham? So ahankaraspadam baladi sharirebhyaha bhinnam. See, these are all shariras. See. So bhinnam. So this bheda buddhi is what is prithak bhava, which is stated here. So similarly, he says, Atayeva na indriyāṇyapi asya ālambanam indriya bhedepi. So you have this beautiful example given by Vajaspati Mishra. He says, indriya bhedepi. He says, yoham madraksham sayeva etarihi sprishami. Yoham madraksham sayeva sprishami. You just think of, so you see some beautiful flower. So I have seen, so some nice gardens would have been created when you go abroad. So initially you were tempted, okay, so to go and touch, right? So this yoham adraksham, soham sprishami now. Now sprishami is a different vyapara, adraksham is a different vyapara. So the same entity is described as pashyati and sprishati. So if this is into play, then you are described in one way. If that is into play, are you the one who saw or are you the one who touched? Both are right. So this indriya vyavrittihi aham pratyayasya anuvrittihi. This is what we have to understand. Okay? So this is what he was trying to convey here. Yoham madraksham sayeva etarihi sprishami iti ahamalambanasya pratyabhijnanat. So ahamalambanasya pratyabhijnanam means when you reflect upon. Otherwise, we just keep engaging. So one has to just closely observe and reflect. So then you will be able to see, and it makes a lot of sense what is being stated. Okay. Now let us come back here. So this is what is being stated here. So this person is described by the phrase nipunadhihi. Understand in the verse. Nipunadhihi means he is able to engage himself in analyzing this, and therefore his dhihi is nipuna. Okay. So naipunyam is something which is skillful. So excellent. So excellent when it is properly made use of. Okay. Nipunadhihi avyayam dhruvam ajam brahma brahma bhinnam svatmanam cha drishtva nipunadhihi. So he describes that as vidvan. Atha nashochati. Nashochati means after this nashochati. Then he says, स्वप्न दृष्टान्तात् जाग्रत् प्रपंचम सर्वमपि मिथ्येति विदित्वा. Just understand. He is now trying to towards the conclusion. He is trying to tell you why is it easy in this Manushya Janma. Swapna drishtantāt jagrat prapancham sarvamapi mithyeti viditva. So through the example, so if you go to Vaitathya Prakaranam, Vaitathyam sarvabhavanam swapnahurmanishina antasthanattu bhavanam samvratatvena hetuna adirghatvacha kalasya etc. Okay, swapna drishtanta, how it can be useful in communicating this powerful idea, which is there in the Vaitathya Prakaranam. So now he is trying to say swapna drishtantat jagrat prapancham sarvavi mithyeti viditva satyam brahma ekameva advitiyam ahamasmiti viditva. So matva was there in the mantra. So here he is saying viditva viditva. Okay. Vidvan nashochati. Having understood this, this person no more gets into sorrow. Okay. Now, finally he says, Devādīnām asvapnatvat natesham swapnadrishtam tena idam darshanam sambhavati. See, you may become Deva, but then asvapnatvat. So they don't have swapna. So there is no easy way to understand. You can relate. You can get vairagya because you are put into trouble. Devas do not have any kind of dukkha. Therefore they will not develop vairagya also. So it's a problem. Okay? So he says, Devādīnām asvapnatvat natesham swapnadrishtānte naidam darshanam sambhavati. Then he says, Pashvādīnām sasvapnatvepi. Devādīnām asvapnatvam. Pashvādīnām sasvapnatvam. But sasvapnatvam may be there, viveka jnana is not there. Okay? So they don't have this viveka, the ability to discriminate. So that is something which is a capacity which human alone is sort of endowed with that kind of high level of capacity. Okay? Viveka jnana, caring for others, etc. It is faculty which is blessed to human being. Okay? So Pashvādīnām, in fact, even Adhyasa Bhashya, he will say Pashvādibhishya avisheshat. So he will explain great length. Then finally he will say, so Pashvādīnām, there is a Pashvādīnām tu avivekataha pravrittihi. All of us notice. That is why they get trapped. No? You put something, some bite, the fish will get trapped. You put something, they will get trapped. They don't have that kind of a viveka. If you also do, I mean, they are also equivalent to Pashuvani. Pashvādīnām sasvapnatvepi na viveka jnanam tasmād mānava janmanīva Shreyas-sadhanam ityabhiprāyaha. Therefore he says, so in this Manushya Janma, Manava Janmaiva, so that was the import. So he is just concluding, so connecting the content of the previous verse with this verse. Manava tasmat Manava Janmaiva Shreyas-sadhanam ityabhiprāyaha. So this is the Shreyas-sadhanam. This is something which is exceedingly conducive for gaining this Atma-jnana. So, iti abhiprāyaha means this is the import of what has been stated. Okay, I think we will stop here. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahabhirjam Karavavahi Tejasvinavadhi Tamastama Vidvishabhahi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sarve Pisukhinas Santu Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om